Good morning, good morning, good morning. I pray all is well with you and your families. I pray you thank the Lord for waking you up on this day, for this is the day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. So, First Chronicles, chapter 16, verse 8. King James Version. Give thanks unto the Lord, call upon his name, make known his deeds among the people. My Lord, like we have to live a life of thanksgiving. Like seriously. Job 19:25, New Living Translation. But as for me, I know that my Redeemer lives, and he will stand upon the earth at last. My God, my God. You know, God is just so good. He's so good. He's so good. You know, yesterday I had time with my daughter, a former church member, at the church that we both attended, and I tell you, like, I had a wonderful time with those two young ladies. They're the same age, and as I was listening to them speak, and then had time to interact with others as well. But as I was listening to those two speak, my heart was screaming out, Lord, what do I say? And he was like, you're going to pour into these young ladies like no one poured into you at that age. You're going to pour into them because you didn't have it at their age. But now you have the wisdom, the experience, the knowledge, like, sure. So it was a great time. I'm not going to lie. Like 4 hours. It was beautiful. It was lovely. I thank God for the time. I thank God that I was able to listen to what they think about things, how they think about things, but then to really just give them some wisdom, even in the situation that they're both in at the same time. And so afterwards, I got the praise report. You follow where I'm coming from? God is just so good, and he's just so worthy to be praised, and he is just so good. He is. You know, 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 13, the New Living Translation reads, so prepare your minds for action and exercise self-control. Put all your hope in the gracious salvation that will come to you when Jesus Christ is revealed to the world. You know, I was able to show them Jesus. I was able to show them the love of God. No judgment, no ridicule. Like, do you all understand a listening ear? I allowed them to pour out to me, get everything out, and then I was able to pour into them. You know, I just really thank God. Like, he's allowed me to help men and women, male and female, like he has, because there was a young man sitting there and he was attentively listening. He was. Yeah. Because, you know, it's the wisdom for the younger generation. I mean, like, we all can sit up here and say this generation, the younger generation, is worse. But, like, what are we doing as mothers and fathers? Like, what are we doing in our influence? Like, are we influencing them to be a better version of themselves? To even be a better version than you were at that age, in all honesty? Like, are we really doing this? Like, it's just amazing. You know, like, even while I was talking to my daughter and her daughter's dad in that moment, I said, I don't know where these grandparents get off where they can't discipline their children or their grandchildren, but I'm a firm believer in discipline. I said, like, no child is going to manipulate me. Not a child of mine, not a grandchild of mine. Like, I said, this is the problem with the younger generation. The discipline has left. Let's be clear. You know, we've got too many mothers and fathers trying to be the friend instead of being the parent. See, one thing I've always done with my children, and my living children that are living will tell you this, and my son that is no longer living used to tell people this all the time. Yeah, my mama, but I can talk to my mama about anything. We had an open relationship where they can come to me about any situation, no matter how hard it may be, no matter how much I may want to shut up my ears and not listen. But I'd rather my children come to me than go to the world. I'm telling you, I have witnessed that was the best thing that I could have ever done for my children. I thank God for the years of the severe depression and anxiety. In all honesty, it made me be still, sit down, spend time with my children. Yeah, have a real relationship with my children, not run wild. Like the little things that I was doing that were out of pocket, out of line, I never neglected my children. I stayed with my children. I spent time with my children. And even if I got out of line, guess what? I was snatched back in the line by my mama. True story. Like, I don't understand, like, if we had more parents being parents, more grandparents being parents instead of being friends, like, understand, you can be that safe place for your children and grandchildren, but you also have to be the authority figure. I don't understand how you all allow your children and grandchildren to run over you. I do not. Like, here's the whole truth. When someone is out of line, correction is needed, period. You cannot sit up here and allow people to go out in this world, especially your children and your grandchildren, and think they can just say what they want, do what they want, act any type of way, and then you want to say, oh my gosh, I don't know why they're acting that way. You allowed it in your home. Even yesterday, talking to my daughter, and she started using foul language, and she did it like once or twice, but by the third time, I was like, look, watch your mouth. And she was like, yes, ma'am. Like, listen, I'm being like, you all hear my heart on today, because if we don't get these children in line, no one else will. Understand that. Stop expecting someone else to get your child in line. True story. I realized that during the times that the Lord has me be silent, everything that I poured into my daughter, it comes back to her remembrance. Everything I poured into my son, it comes back to his remembrance. Everything, because I pour into my children. This, like, I don't think you all understand it. Like, my mother gave me street smarts. I learned the streets from my mom. I did. Book knowledge from my dad. Work ethic from my dad. True story. So I have a combination of the two. So you just can't run over me, period. Straight up and down. I see you. So when I was talking to my daughter yesterday, I said, you know, oftentimes we get irritated because people don't think the way that we think. I said, but what we have to understand is we cannot control the way that other people think. I said, you're going to have to learn that you cannot control the way other people think or the way other people act. If they don't think like you, so be it. Like, she said, but mama, it don't even make sense. I said, I know some people do not use the common sense that God gave them. I said, God gave each of us a measure of wisdom, and some people just don't use it. I said, but at the end of the day, don't be upset because they don't use theirs. You just make sure you use yours. Like, you know, I'm teaching her, like, because those type of things would irritate me. And so when it irritate her, like, I'm like, yo, I see my younger self. Oh, let me talk to her real quick. You know, there's so many things that I get to say to her that I wish someone said to me, but I'm thanking God that I'm able to say it to her, pour into her, and I know she's going to pour it into her daughter. Like, in the moment when I'm doing the correction, of course, she like, mama, yeah, but you're listening, and I know you're listening, and I know God gonna bring it back to you when I'm silent, so I'm not even worried about it. Like, no, you don't want to hear it right now. You know, God is just so good, and he's so worthy to be praised. But for you mothers and you fathers and you grandmothers, stop complaining about the younger generation and be a better example. You know, I was talking to my daughter. I said, woo, I thank God I'm not who I used to be. I thank God I'm even much calmer than even last year. I said, man, 45 was a shift in the spirit for me. I said, I am just so grateful, and I'm not tolerating anything out of anyone. I don't care. Like, I said, you know, when I get to the point where God tell me I don't have to sit up here and tolerate something, I said, daughter, you know, that's where my mindset be at. Like, we're not tolerating bad behavior. We're not tolerating nasty attitudes. It's the love of God that brings people to repentance. Your testimony, the goodness of God is what brings people to repentance. I'm telling you, for all of you ministry leaders, get your heart right. Check your heart posture. These things matter because God is tired of his sheep being slaughtered. Yeah, and divided. Get it together, church. Get it together.